Well, this will be a short 5-minute video. There's been some things that popped up that I've taken some time to think about that are very important. They're worth mentioning, and this is not really like a biblical lesson or anything, but this is still very important because the nature of it. Last year, COVID happened and a lot of things got shut down, and there's definitely a lot of political stuff that you can talk about here, but the point that I want to bring up here that caught my eye, and this was a few days before, well, there was something personal that happened that I'm not quite ready to talk about, but let's just say the conversation here is about healthy touching. When there are barriers put up, and with the way the situation was last year, people being locked inside their own apartments and houses and not able to do anything, this is something that kind of alarmed me once I realized the full extent of what exactly was happening. And this isn't just simply like something silly or teasing or even sexual. This is the fact of people being isolated and unable to communicate, let alone just talk to other people. Those who are online, those who are gamers, those who are on TikTok or whatever, they understand that you can talk to someone online. That's not a problem. But I'm talking about, in reality, what exactly is healthy touching? Handshakes? Hugging? Sex? I mean, those are the three ones that I came up with. And last year saw a huge decrease in all of that, as well as a huge increase in marital issues, breakups, and other problems with relationships where the friction just got too great, and people just ended up quitting. They quit entire relationships and shut a lot of people off. It's interesting to note that I was working on a relationship all of last year, and this is something that I didn't see up until like literally the beginning of February. So again, yeah, like there's definitely some personal things there that I don't really want to talk about right at this point in time, but because of it, I saw something very important that I want to bring up. The Bible does talk about how to do things in a healthy manner, but healthy touching is never really addressed. Wholesome, being able to encourage others, being able to reinforce values of self-worth. There are definitely Bible verses that will reinforce that, but overall, I don't believe the subject has ever been addressed as is. And it's important to at least mention that this was a huge issue that I saw last year. So this is more of a reminder and not so much of a lesson of something important, where pointing out a need and a lack of in your life that if you do not address it, you do not find ways to try to interact with other people, the results are going to be depression and a lot worse. I was going to say suicide, but honestly, well, there's more to it than that. Your work life can be affected. The jobs have already been affected enough as they were last year, so that's already public knowledge right there, with jobs ending, businesses shut down. So some of the stuff is not really need to go into, but if you don't take care of some of these other serious issues, they're just going to get out of control. And the next thing you know, you'll end up trying to hire an escort just so you could be next to someone, talking to them, pouring your heart out for whatever reason, because the littlest thing just sets you off, and you know you're alone and you need to go talk to someone. Like it can happen, and if you're not careful, if you don't take care of these issues, something like that will happen. It has happened to other people, and that's why I mentioned it. Anyway, something to mention that is worth 5 minutes of your time. Anyway, have a good one and stay tuned.